Good afternoon. Thank you, TypeCon, for having me here. It's my great pleasure to meet everyone virtually and talk to you about a wonderful type design project. A little bit about me. My name is Yvonne. I teach graphic design at Texas Christian University in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm originally from China, and I've been studying and working in the States for 13 years now. My dual background and passion for type has led me to my ongoing scholarly research on cross-cultural branding. I study good and not so good examples of typographic translations for different languages. And myself have been designing Chinese typeface based on existing Latin typeface. And I showed some of my work in my past presentation. And one of the most frequent asked questions after my presentation was, is there any case that Western typeface is designed based on Chinese typeface? So I'm here today to talk to you about such a case. Over the years, I've had a close relationship with Founder Type. I'm very excited when they asked me to help presenting their brand new type design project with Coca-Cola China.
To me, it's more than just a new typeface, but a realignment in the cultural perspective. To begin, let me give you a brief history of Coca-Cola China. Coca-Cola first entered China in 1920s. The rise of World War II forced the companies to withdraw from China, and when China was opened once again in December 1978 in Atlanta, Coca-Cola announced its decision to return to China. A month later, 3,000 boxes of Coca-Cola were shipped from Hong Kong to mainland. Coca-Cola became the very first international brand returned to China after the reform and opening up. 2 years later, the first Coca-Cola plant in China was complete and put into operation in Beijing. The first domestic Coke was officially launched, and Coca-Cola was the first American brand that opened distribution in this country. When a foreign brand enters a new market, the first priority is to learn the local language and the writing system in order to understand the local market and culture. And since then, for more than 20 years, the trademark on Coca-Cola bottles and cans looked like this. On the right, in Chinese calligraphy. In 2003, a designer from Hong Kong designed a new Chinese logo which made a perfect counterpart with its English version. This logo has achieved great success and has been used ever since. As one of the earliest brands in China, Coca-Cola has lived and grown in this country for over 40 years, and it's greatly inspired by the culture. As it celebrates its 40-year anniversary, Coca-Cola launched a new type design project to pay tribute to the original calligraphic Chinese trademark that was used in 1979. The classic logo remains in people's memory, are very dear to them, instantly draw people back to the 80s and 90s. However, back in the days, the 4 characters were not from a font set, but were only in a handwritten in calligraphy style. Coca-Cola China hoped that this project can make the font more accessible for people to use in different occasions. For this type design project, Coca-Cola is very pleased to team up with Founder Type and Cool Character. Founder Type is the first professional and largest Chinese type design company, as well as the biggest Chinese font vendor in the world. Cool Character is a Chinese culture promotion organization based in Shanghai. It was the two companies' favorable impression about Coca-Cola brand and their shared passion for Chinese typography that contributed to this 3-party collaboration. In this project, Coca-Cola China has drawn inspiration from Chinese culture and traditions. Its company value resonates well with the gentle we care attitude in Chinese culture. So they use a very colloquial, everyday word, care, to describe it. Coca-Cola China prepared a short video documented some important milestones as it living and growing in China. In this video, you may see some Coca-Cola China's ongoing project and sustainability efforts over the years in the theme of We Care. And after having care as the project concept and direction, the designers dived into more research. To get to the bottom of it, they need to understand the meaning behind these two characters, Zai and Hu. By looking into Asian writing, the designers discovered an interesting symbolic representation of the two characters. The character on the right side is Zai in its ancient form. It has two parts. The part on the right means ground or soil. The part on the left is a small flower. The pictogram is a small flower sprouting from the ground. So the meaning behind the word Zai is present or exist. The pictogram of Hu is a little bit more obvious. Can you see the form looking like a dandelion here? So Hu here means breathing. So here's a picture like a young bud breaking through the ground. It breathes there quietly. You can imagine it being watching a newborn baby sleeping and breathing. So together, the two characters, Zai and Hu, makes a word, care, which means put on heart. What I see in my eyes touches my heart. The character origin gave the designer a clear idea of what care is in Chinese people's understanding. In the process of crafting the font, the team wanted to express this idea through every stroke. So their first step was taking the four characters from the trademark and expand it to 10 characters, Coca-Cola China We Care. When looking at the 4 calligraphic character style, the richness and heaviness of the stroke look like an ancient famous calligraphy style Yan, while the order and spacing in the structure looked like another style called O style, both from Tang Dynasty. Therefore, when designing the Care Font, the designers considered combining the features of Yan style and O style, giving the first impression of being thick and firm. At the same time, the strokes are carried out with appropriate spacing, presenting a tribute to the calligraphic tradition. And then the team crafted out over 1,200 characters. As a beverage company, Coca-Cola China has its own understanding of the water philosophy, which is similar to the interpretation of water in Chinese culture, calling it dynamic, round, and flexible. Chinese people believe in 2 qualities in water. The first one is the toughness of water dripping through the stone, and the second one is the tolerance of all seas and rivers. So the team tries to incorporate the form and the spirit of water in the design process. As you may see here, the dots are like drops of water, full and dynamic. They're leaping and echoing between each other in the word heart. You can spot many of these kind of curvature in vertical and horizontal strokes. So the strokes are more natural and smooth like flowing water. Take the character Le as an example. We're comparing Care Font on the left and the Kai style font on the right. Kai is one of the most used calligraphic fonts in Chinese. The vertical stroke is still very bold and thick, and the hook here is bended while the terminals are rounded. Also, on the very right side for the word zhong, the vertical stroke in Kai style is like a dangling needle, sharp at the end, while Care Font's vertical terminals are softened like a drop of water. Unlike the other Chinese fonts that are designed based on a square grid, Care Font is laid out in a circle, showing a rounded and an inclusive look and giving it a humanistic feel. Although Coca-Cola is an 134-year-old company, Coca-Cola has always been a young and energetic brand in consumers' mind, a young soul with a heavy history. The design of Care Font also wants to show the dynamic and upward feel. The center of the character is relatively stable, and the upper strokes tilts to the right, giving people a positive and youthful feeling. Care Font does not just pursue the maturity when learning from classics, but also shows a kind of a childish vibe when, with joy flowing between one stroke to another. A combination of calmness and liveliness is something they hope to convey. At the same time, the designer thought about how to capture the delightful feeling of enjoying a Coca-Cola product into the font. The cool bubbles hit the throat, making satisfying burps, to show that the characters are relatively more open, leaving comfortable space between words. It helps reading easier, like breathing at ease. In the design process, it started with improving 13 basic strokes and their variations at different positions. After modifying the first set of characters, the major challenge was how to create the numerous individual characters for the font library. That is, thousands of characters. I intentionally put this GIF here so you can feel the stress of us as Chinese type designers. Unlike designing for a Western type, designer only need to design based on 26 alphabet letters, punctuation, numerals. Before a Chinese font, designer need to craft thousands of individual characters. So it's rarely a one-man show. It usually takes a team effort for years. To complete this development efficiently, they teamed up nearly 30 designers. The experienced member teamed with a group of young creatives who took the challenges heads on. After more than 1 year of careful crafting and polishing, the complete set of Care Font was finally released. It includes 7,745 characters, including over 6,000 Chinese characters and over 900 other characters, for free license for personal and non-commercial use. To ensure that there's no absence of characters when outputting the font, they specially designed some rare characters such as Qing and Kun based on the text in 1,000-character classic, which contains the most rarest characters in Chinese, and even the most popular font can't compete with that. When designing Western alphabet, the designers wanted to adopt the form accordingly and follow the style of the Chinese version, which is very bold, round, and handwritten. And in addition, they wanted to capture the calligraphic quality and make sure every stroke embodies the brushstroke feel with humanistic touch, but still legible and useful in Western writing. In addition to the Western letters, the team specially designed some combined characters from Chinese folk culture. The key point of these combined characters is that they share some stroke or a certain part in a combined structure. The open type feature of Chinese character made it easy to type them. To input these combined characters, one would enter the 3 to 4 individual characters, then hit percentage, enter, and the combined character will appear. At present, they have 15 such characters, and it is the first Chinese font that includes such font combined characters. Among these combined characters, We Care is quite special. It incorporated a smiley face in the form. Its eyes are made of 2 dots from the 2 characters Wo and Min, and its mouths are made of a tilted stroke. And here is the final design on the left. And these characters are a bonus offering to the set and make this font more useful and fun to use. And here's a case of how we use it, these combined characters. We put them on a cell phone and to wish for good fortune flow in. Here, the project finally presented a new custom font with round, fresh, inclusive, and energetic appearance. The brush strokes are as natural as breathing. It has a traditional meaning meets the modern aesthetic, as round and smooth as water, and also full of power and energy. The team wanted to design this humanistic font choice for everybody to use in a digital era. In the end, Care should be the tenderest feel deep inside. It offers a warm and reliable power. The team hoped that this font would be widely used as an expression of these emotions, to inspire and the spirit of care and become a practical font with human kindness. A message from the project team. Let's begin with caring for our food and drink and care for each other, the underprivileged, the environment, and our shared future for the communities. One last thing, I would like to show you a short promotional video about Care Font. Hope you like it.